So your team is quiet quitting, turnover has never been higher, and clients are falling through the cracks as a result. I'm sorry to tell you that this isn't just a really bad quarter. In fact, it's a sign that it's time to shift towards something called people-first operations. Let's talk about why the timing of this is everything. How do you know that it's time to put people at the center of your operations? The answer lies in your team's performance and your customer loyalty. Let's break this down together. 75% of employees quit due to a bad manager. If you're seeing signs that your team is disengaged, checking out, maybe even quiet quitting, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, and it's time for a change before you start losing team members left and right. Here's how to know if it's time to switch towards something called people-first operations. Are you waiting for the perfect moment to start focusing on your people and up-leveling your team? Spoiler alert, the best time to start was yesterday, but the second best time is right now. Let's explore how to recognize the telltale signs that it's time to make the switch. You're scaling fast. Balls are dropping left and right, and culture kind of feels like a nice afterthought. Does that sound familiar? That is a perfect storm. But the solution is simple. It's something called people-first operations. Here's why it's time to make the switch. Are you waiting for your team to perform a little bit worse, for just a few more clients to leave before you make a change when it comes to how you're scaling your business? The smartest leaders act before there's a dumpster fire. And today, I'm going to show you how you'll know it's time to make the shift towards people-first operations. Every great leader knows the importance of timing. So, how do you know that it's time to shift your focus towards putting the people in your business first? The answer could make the difference between success, scale, and failure. Some leaders wait until there's a crisis before they act. But the best leaders spot the signs and take action early. Here's how to know whether it's time for you to get in front of the wave and start putting your people at the center of your business right now. So there are 3 major stages of the people-first framework. The first phase is as you're approaching the 7-figure run rate. This is when you've got your initial small team and you need to learn how to lead and manage so that they can start to take day-to-day tasks and activities off of your plate. You'll know that it's time to adopt the people-first framework if you're seeing that initial team coming to you with constant questions day after day, them not thinking for themselves, them not being able to make decisions without you, and for you to feel like every new person that you're adding to the team puts more work on your plate and not less. Once we've gotten that initial core team in place, we hit the second stage of growth, which generally happens between 100 to 300K months for most startups. And this is when you, for the very first time, need to start putting managers in place. In this second stage of people-first growth, we need to learn not just how to lead others, but how to lead other leaders and how to truly delegate and empower not just day-to-day tasks, but day-to-day decision-making. How do you create a leadership team that can fully run and make decisions around the day-to-day of the business without consulting you? Because for the first time, there is so much to do that you actually can't be everywhere at once. And you have to learn to build and trust a leadership team that will act without you. And then the third key stage of people-first operations happens as you're approaching the 10 million mark. And this is where culture becomes an absolute non-negotiable, because you have layers of leadership and you are now so far removed from the day-to-day and the front line of the business that you literally don't know what's happening and have no other way of ensuring that the right work is getting done and the business is in alignment with your vision without putting in place things like a rock-solid core values, mission statement, vision statement, and making sure that true strategic alignment runs up and down the business without you. So to illustrate this, I want to tell you about a client we worked with named Mike. Mike scaled from $1 million to $15 million in just 2 years. Here's how he did it. In stage 1, Mike and his partner were running everything in the day-to-day. They figured out every role, they figured out what their clients needed, and they figured out how to deliver on it. They built an initial team around them to help them execute it, and they directly managed and focused on putting the right people into the right seats and training and delegating early so that that team, by the time they were ready to bring in managers, were already self-managing and self-sufficient. Because they put the right people in from the very beginning, they were able to scale fast, and they were able to stack more and more people into these highly productive, highly functioning roles to the point that by the time they hit around 500K per month, they were ready to bring on managers. Those managers were set up for success because those managers didn't have to tell that frontline team exactly what to do. They needed to focus on how to create the highest performance team possible. He already had the right people doing the right things. So when he brought in managers, it was all about making sure that they knew how to lead the team, how to lead A players, and maximize productivity and performance instead of spending their time bogged down in the weeds trying to fix everyone else's fires. With that management team in place, Mike, for the first time, was able to step out of the day-to-day weeds and put all of his attention and focus on revenue-driving activities. He grew the company so fast, they went from $5 to $15 million in under 2 years because 100% of his time was spent working on the business instead of in it. And today, the company is still thriving because they're operating under a set of shared core values, a high-performance team, and a badass team of managers that is running and making decisions around the day-to-day so that Mike can stay focused on the next revenue-generating opportunity. So if you want to grow your business the way that Mike did, stay tuned, because I have a whole series coming on exactly how to implement this people-first framework inside your business. Go ahead and click on the next video in the series, which is where I share my 8-point checklist on exactly how to build an A-player team. Or if you'd like to book a call with me and my team so we can show you how we help our clients go through this exact transformation, go ahead and click on the link in the comments to book a time.